Alright, now let's begin with the upload profile picture activity. We will set the link for the upload profile picture in the user profile activity. In the user profile activity, we will open the upload profile picture when the user clicks on the image view, which is supposed to show the display picture of the user. So let's first create one empty activity. And we can give it name upload profile picture activity. Then get inside the user profile activity, and here we will set one on click listener on the image view so that when the user clicks on the image, the upload profile picture is opened up. And we have already declared image view globally, so we just have to use it here. And let's bind the view first. And then we will use set on click listener. Then we will define a new on click listener. Then under the on click method, we just have to use a new intent and start the upload profile picture activity from here. And we will not finish this activity, that is the user profile activity. We will not finish it, so that once the user has finished uploading his picture, they can return back to this user profile activity. Now let's get into the layout of the upload profile pic activity, and we will first define the layout. So we will use a scroll view. Then under the scroll view, I will just start with a relative layout. Then we will start with one text view to display the heading for this activity. And we will align it in the center. And then using the text appearance property, we will set the font style and font size. Then below it, we will have one button. This button will be used to open the file manager or the file explorer of the device, from where we can choose the image. Let it be below the text view upload pic head. And let's have some margin on the right and left. And for now, I'm just using some background color. We will later change it because we are going to design the UI or the user interface of the app later anyway. So for now, I'm just using a random color. Then below the button, we are going to create one image view. In this image view, we will be displaying the profile picture or the picture that the user has selected from the file explorer. and let's have a border around it. So we will just use the background property and we will use the border XML file. Then let it be below the upload pick choose button, and we can define a specific height for this image view. Let's say 500 dp. Then finally we will define the upload button. After selecting the picture, when the user clicks on this button, the picture will be uploaded to the Firebase storage. Let it be below the image view. Let's define the margins. Alright, then we need to define the progress bar, and we can just copy the progress bar from user profile activity. Just get into the layout of the user profile activity, copy it from there, and then we can just paste it below the button in the upload profile pic activity. Alright, so the layout was pretty simple here. Then let's switch to the Java, and let's start by declaring the global variables. I will start with the progress bar, and then the image view. Because we need not define all the variables globally, we will only define the variables which are needed to be global. The rest of them we can just keep them locally. Then let's set the title for this activity. Alright, now we can set the common menu for this activity. Since we have already defined the common menu in user profile activity, so we can just open the user profile activity. Then scrolling down to the bottom, we have these two methods, that is on create options menu and then on options item selected. We can just copy these two methods and then open the upload profile pic activity, and then we can paste them outside the on create method. Alright, now let's make the necessary changes. Like we have to change the context. The context here is the upload profile pic activity. And this auth profile variable we will have to declare, and we have to make it global so that other methods can use it. So let's define the Firebase authentication variable. Alright, then we need to get one instance of the Firebase authentication, and we will save that instance in the auth profile variable. Then after that, let's define the button which is responsible to open the file manager from where the user can choose the picture they want to upload. So let's say button upload pic choose, then bind the view, and let's define the upload pic button also. Then let's bind the views of the buttons and the progress bar as well as the image view. Alright, now that we have declared and defined the views of the button, progress bar and image view, now we need to start with the Firebase storage. So click on tools and then Firebase. Then on the right side under Firebase Assistant, we need to look for cloud storage. This is the one, cloud storage for Firebase. Then click on get started and you will notice that Firebase is already connected to our app. So all we need to do is to set up the dependencies. So for that, just click here, add the cloud storage SDK to your app. The required dependencies will be added. Now we can just minimize this assistant and let's open the Firebase console in the browser. All right. Then click on storage and get started. Now for the security rules, we can just leave it like that for now. Here it states allow read write if request.auth is not null. That means if the request that is coming to the Firebase storage is authenticated, then the read and the write will be allowed on cloud storage. But anyways, we are going to look into the database rules later. We are going to set up the security rules in the coming video. So I will just let it be like that for now. Then click on next and then done. So Firebase will create a default bucket for us. So everything is done. Let's get back to the Android Studio. Now we need to get one reference for the storage, which is a storage reference. So I will just define it globally. And then import the class. All right. Then let's declare the Firebase user variable also. Then coming inside on create method, we will get the current user from the auth profile and we will save it in Firebase user variable. All right. Then let's start with the storage reference. Storage reference equals Firebase storage dot get instance. Then we need to import class for Firebase storage. Then dot get reference. Then within the reference, we will set the location as display pics. So if there is a location named display pics, then Firebase will return the reference to that location. And if that location is not in the storage, or let's say there is no location as display pics, then Firebase will create one folder as display pics and then get the reference of that location and return it back and save it in our storage reference variable. Let's keep it aside for now and then we will use URI variable, that is URI. This URI or URI is the uniform resource identifier and we are defining an instance of the URI class. The uniform resource identifier, as its name suggests, is used to identify resource and resource can be a page of text, a video or a sound clip or an image or even a program. And the most common form of URI is the web page address, which is actually a particular form or a subset of URI, which is called Uniform Resource Locator. So URL is a subset of URI and Android uses URI string as the basis for requesting data in a content provider as well as for requesting actions. I'm using this URI variable here in case the user has already set the profile picture. Let's say the user has already set the profile picture and the user wants to change the profile picture. So when he returns back to upload profile pic activity using this URI variable, we will get the photo URL of the Firebase user so that we can set the existing picture in our image view. And also we cannot directly use set image URI method to set the picture in our image view because the picture that we are talking about is not saved locally and it will be retrieved from Google Firebase storage. That means the image will be downloaded from the web. So for that we cannot use set image URI. So we will have to use something else, and that something else is Picasso here. Picasso is an image library for Android. It's created and maintained by Square and caters to image loading and processing, and it simplifies the process of displaying images from external locations. And here in our case, the image that we are talking about is in the external location. It is not locally in our device, and the Picasso library handles every stage of the process, starting from the initial HTTP request to the caching of the image. So to use it, we will have to set the dependency. So open build.gradle module, the second one. Then under dependencies, we will have to set the dependency for the Picasso. So I will just write implementation com.squareup dot Picasso Picasso 2.5.2. You can check the latest version from the Google, and then you can use the latest version. And also let's change these to the newer versions. It is better to change the dependencies into particular versions. Anyways, then get back to the upload profile pic activity. Now we can use Picasso. So Picasso dot width within brackets upload profile pic activity dot this, then dot load URI. URI is the same variable that we have just now declared, and in case the URI is having the URL of the photo, then that photo will be set up in our image view. This is going to happen only in case the user has already uploaded the picture and the user is coming back to the upload profile pic again. If the user has not uploaded any picture before, then nothing will be set here, URI will be empty. So this will happen as soon as the user opens the profile. Now we can start with the logic for uploading the picture. So we have to begin by opening the file manager or the file explorer. So we will use the upload pic choose button, and then we will add one set on click listener on the button, so that as soon as the button is clicked, we can open the file manager from where the user can choose a picture. So I will just use one method here, open file chooser, and then let's define the method. We will start with an intent. Then we will set the type of this intent to image. /star, which means it can be any kind of image. Then intent dot set action. Here in the bracket we will write intent dot action get content. If you want the user to choose something based on multipurpose internet mail extensions or MIME type, then we use action get content. Then start activity for result. Within brackets intent, this is the intent that we have defined, intent with small I, then comma pic image request. This pic image request is a variable that we have to define, so we will just define it globally. And we will make it static and final integer variable. and we will save value of 1. So that means the pick image request is true. Then we have to override on activity result method. Here we will start with the if statement, and we will check if the request code equals pick image request, which means if the request code is true, then and double ampersand result code equals result okay, which means the result code should be true. Then again and, that is double ampersand, and the data is not null, which means there is some data present. Then again and data dot get data is not null. That means if we extract the data from the intent data, then it is not empty or it is not null. In that case, we will just use one variable URI image, and there we are going to save the URI of the image that the user has selected. So we will just use data.getData. So the URI of the image that the user has selected will be saved in URI image. Then using this URI image variable, we can directly set the image in our image view, because this image is already present in the phone, or this image is already present in our device already. So this is not getting the image from the web or an external resources. Here we are just using one pic which is already in the device and using it to set the image view. So we can directly use set image URI, and let's declare this URI image variable, and we will do that globally. Alright, let's run the app and see the changes now. Alright, if we click on the image view, the activity is opened, and now let's try to select one picture and see if it gets displayed in the image view. Yeah, it's getting displayed in the image view. That means so far everything is going good. Now we have to upload the picture which was selected into Firebase storage. So for that we will have to use the second button, which is upload pic button. So just get below the upload pic choose button, and then we will define a new on click listener for this button. And since uploading of a picture will take some time, so we can just start the progress bar from here, and then let's use a upload pic method, and then we can define this method. Now if URI image is not null, which means the user has selected a pic from the device, then we can upload this picture into Firebase storage with the UID of the currently logged in user. So we will begin by getting one reference of the storage, that is storage reference space file reference equals storage reference dot child, and this storage reference variable is already declared and defined, so we can just directly use it here. And this reference contains the reference to the location display pics, if you remember it. So under that location we are going to save the picture as a child, and the name of the child will be the UID of the user. So we will use auth profile dot get current user dot get UID, that will return the UID of the user. Then plus within double inverted commas or within double quote dot, then again plus. Then we have to get the file extension of the image. So for that we will just define one more method. Let's say get file extension, and we will pass the URI image variable here. So from the image that was selected by the user, we can get the extension of the file. So let's define the get file extension method. And since we are passing URI image variable, so we have to make the parameter as URI. Then we will use content resolver. Now to understand content resolver, we need to know about the content provider basics. A content provider manages access to a central repository of data. A provider is part of an Android application which often provides its own UI for working with the data. However, content providers are primarily intended to be used by other applications which access the provider using a provider client object. Now, when you want to access data in a content provider, you have to use content resolver object in your application's context to communicate with the provider as a client. This content resolver object communicates with the provider object, and the content resolver method provides the basic CRUD functions or create, retrieve, update and delete functions. Let's not get into too much detail. Then we have to use MIME type map. So let's discuss what is MIME. Now, according to IANA, that is Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, a media type is also known as multipurpose internet mail extensions or MIME, which is a standard that indicates the nature and format of a document, file, or this MIME, or you can say meme type map, is a two-way map which is used to map meme types to file extensions and vice versa. It's okay if you're understanding, otherwise you can just forget and type what I'm typing. Then we will return the extension that has been obtained from the image URI. Then getting back to the upload pic method, now that we have created one file reference to the image that was selected by the user, we can just go ahead and upload this picture into storage. So we will use file reference dot put file. Put file is the method which is used to upload picture dot add on success listener. Then on success, we will get the download URI or the download URL, because we are going to use this URL to set the profile picture in the image view, and the reference for this image is stored in file reference, so we have to use file reference dot get download URL dot add on success listener. Now on success, we can just save the download URI in a download URI variable. And then we can obtain the current user. After that, we just have to set the profile picture, and for that we will use user profile change request. We have seen this before also, how we can set the display name. In the same way, we have to set the photo URI. Now the download URL that we obtained using the file reference of the photo, we have set the profile picture. So that means in the user object of the Firebase, our photo URI will be having the URI of the picture that we have just uploaded. Then just add the semicolons after the end of add on success listener, both of them. And then let's run the app. Alright, everything is working fine. We can select the image and then we can upload. We have not defined any action to happen after the upload is complete, or we can just check it from the Firebase console whether the photo was uploaded or not. So in the storage, you can see we have this display pics folder. Then inside this folder, we have one photo. That means the upload was successful. Now if we refresh this activity, the photo will not be displayed because we have not set the photo in the user profile activity. So anyways, if the upload is successful, we can stop the progress bar, and also we can display one toast message. And if the upload is successful, we can open the user profile activity and we can close upload profile pic activity. So we can just finish it. Let's upload once again and check. And you can see once the upload is successful, user profile activity opens up and we have one toast message. And if you open the Firebase console, you will see that the same file has been overwritten because we are using the UID of the user, which is unique for all the users. So if a user tries to upload their profile picture, the name will remain the same but the photo will change. And also if you want to add, you can add one failure listener in the outermost on success listener. That is if the upload failed, because in the first on success listener we were uploading the profile picture, in the second one we are obtaining the download URI of the photo. So if the upload has failed, then we can set one toast message using the exact exception that happened. And let's scroll up and check whether this if statement is ending. That is the if statement which is checking if the URI is null or not. So in case the URI is null, which means the user has not selected any picture and still clicked on upload profile picture button, in that case we can just display one toast message that no profile picture was selected or no file was selected, and we can stop the progress bar. Alright. And in the next video, we are going to fetch this profile picture and then set as the profile pic in the image view of the user profile activity. Because so far we have uploaded the profile picture, but we have not displayed it in the user profile activity. So we will do that in the next video. Thanks for watching.